Hello and welcome to my channel, everyone. This is the first time I have ever worked seriously on a YouTube video, or a channel for that matter. As the title of the video implies, this is an introduction to my channel that will mainly consist of summaries regarding either important battles ranging from the 20th century to the 21st century, vehicles or weapons from this time period. In the future, I may create videos regarding a requested topic within the comment section. Now, thank you for hearing me out there. Let's start with the first battle I will be talking about. The Battle of Mukden was one of the largest battles to occur before the First World War, and one that proved decisive for the victory of Japan during the Russo-Japanese War, taking place between the 20th of February 1905 to March the 10th, 1905. According to the book Warfare and Armed Conflicts, a statistical encyclopedia of casualty and other figures, 1492 to 2015, by Michael Clodfelter, the Japanese had a total strength of 262,000 infantry, 7,350 cavalry, 992 guns, such as artillery, and 200 machine guns, under the command of Prince Oyama Iwao, which had the rank of Field Marshal at the time. The Russians had a numerical advantage with 340,000 infantry, 1,219 guns, and 88 machine guns at the command of Alexei Kuropatkin. Despite the numerical advantage, the Russians were defeated. But how? Earlier on in the war, the Russians had suffered a number of defeats, consisting of the Battle of Liaoyang, the Battle of Shaho, the Battle of Sandepu, and the fall of Port Arthur. This meant that the Russian morale was low, forcing General Alexei Kuropatkin into a defensive posture south near the city of Mukden, with a line extending some 140 kilometers. On the right, there was the Second Manchurian Army under the command of General von Kaulbars. The center was under the control of the Third Manchurian Army under General Baron von Bilderling, which contained a railway and highway. Given that the terrain in Manchuria, whoever controlled the railways controlled Manchuria. The left was under the First Manchurian Army, commanded by General Nikolai Linevich, reinforced by two-thirds of Russian cavalry under the command of General Paul von Rennenkampf. In comparison, the Japanese had the Japanese First Army under General Kuroki, the Japanese Second Army under General Oku, the Japanese Third Army under General Nogi, the Japanese Fourth Army under General Nosu, and a diversionary force known as the Japanese Oryokuko Army, or Yalu River Army, under General Kawamura. The battle itself started with a thrust on the left flank by the Japanese Fifth Army on the 20th of February, followed 7 days later by the Japanese Fourth Army on the right flank. Simultaneously, the Japanese Third Army began encircling the Russian forces from the northwest. Worried, General Kuropatkin began to withdraw forces from the left flank to reinforce the right flank, due to the movement of the Japanese Third Army. This was a fatal mistake, as a reorganization caused panic in the Russian lines, making the First and Third Armies fall into a rout. This caused Kuropatkin to pull back to defensive positions along the Han River just south of the city. The Japanese first broke through the Russian defenses on the right side, causing defenses on the left to become partially cut off, while simultaneously causing a salient to form 15 kilometers west of Mukden, allowing the Japanese to encircle the Russian forces on the right flank. As General Kuropatkin risked being completely surrounded by Japanese forces, he ordered retreat towards the north on 9 March. At 10 a.m. on the 10th of March, the Japanese entered Mukden, pursuing the retreating Russian forces as far as 20 kilometers out from the city before stopping. The battle ended with a total of 75,504 Japanese troops as casualties, with 15,892 killed and 59,612 wounded. The Russians had a total of 88,362 casualties, with 8,705 killed, 51,438 wounded, 6,209 missing in action, and 22,000 POWs. Even though the Japanese did not manage to carry out the complete destruction of Russian forces in the region, the forces under the command of General Kuropatkin had their morale shattered. Coupled with a severe lack of supplies, this rendered the Russian army in Manchuria essentially ineffective and dangerously close to becoming nothing more than an armed mob. In essence, the Russians were defeated by a lack of organization, a series of previous defeats, and a commander that was far too careful for his own good. Whereas the ground fighting capacities of the Russians had been eliminated, the final battle would be fought in no less than a month between the Imperial Japanese Navy and the Russian Navy in what would be known as the Battle of Tsushima.